I gave you my heart because it came with so much more. It's the ultimate sacrifice. Greatness has a cost. It reschedules your plans for you. It puts your family and friends on hold. It makes you feel misunderstood. And it will put you in some deep, dark holes. Greatness demands everything from you. Your mind, your body, your spirit, and your soul. So what do when you shoot 4 air balls in a playoff game? What do you do? Do you sulk? Do you weep? When you disappointed all of your teammates? When you let down all of the fans? Do you ask for sympathy? Do you ask why me? When they blast the coach for keeping you in the game, do you blame yourself? When they've drawn up their own conclusion. Woo! Good morning, dreamers. Grand Rising, Rise and Shine. TGIM. The growth includes Monday. Super excited. This is the last day of July. We are ending this month with an absolute bang. JoJo in the building. Cedric, it's good to see you, family. Super excited for today's topic. We're going to be diving into greatness, as you can see in the prequel. Greatness has a cost, and we're going to be learning about how to go ahead and pay the price, right? I don't care who you are, really anybody. It's going to be a price that needs to be paid in order to get to the levels that we're looking to reach. So fired up, ready to go ahead and end off the month super strong. Let's get a little bit of gratitude down below before we go ahead and get this day rocking and rolling. Let me get IG tapped in. It's going to be one they don't want to miss. This is huge coming into the second half of the year. Greatness has a cost. Here we go. Awesome. So here we go. IG is live. We are tapped in. I'm grateful for God. I'm so thankful to be alive. I'm grateful for these morning rituals. We've been tapped in for almost 380 days now. Today is day 370. Where we at? 376. Getting down the feeling. Shane and Talina, I know you've already busted through day 400. Congratulations. But this is the deal, right? For nobody else but for yourself, so we can be able to go back through these pages and see all of the growth, to see the transformation, to see the elevation, to see the shift and change in paradigms. There's so much power that is written, putting the ink to the paper. So I'm grateful to be able to see everybody taking the time for yourselves to be able to get up early reading, right? For those of you that don't know, we're diving into a book club for this month, right? Diving into John C. Maxwell, the 17 indisputable laws of teamwork, 1111, paint your vision. So a lot of great things are here and on the way. Excited for that. So let's go ahead and dive in. Great for the dream team. Great for the family. Lucky, it's good to see you, brother. Awesome. Grateful to be alive. Let's get into it for today, family. Paying the price, right? Greatness has a cost. This was actually a training that I got this morning, and this was a big one. You know, even for me, just going through this, it really put a lot of different things into perspective. And I was literally just going and replaying through the wheel about all of the things, looking back across this journey that had to pay a price. There's absolutely a price that needs to be paid when we're looking at going towards our dreams. When we're looking about getting towards greatness. Okay. So first thing I want to touch on, he talked about wiring, right? Wiring the brain, right? Everybody is wired, depending on how we are raised, depending on who our family is, our background, the circle of influence that we've been brought up around, right? So till about 18 years old, we've all been wired a certain way. And the problem is, right, for most of us, we've been wired, we've been designed to go ahead and have limited thinking. We've been wired and designed to be taught that at the end of the day, it's about working hard. At the end of the day, it's about going and doing what most people are used to doing, getting into the same 12 majors that exist in college, doing what the average person is normally used to doing. Well, here's the truth, right? This is called a rewire. So whatever we wire, we're able to go ahead and rewire. Johnny, what's good? I see you. So here's the beautiful part about it. If we've been wired to think that we have limiting beliefs, that we can't learn new skill sets, that we can't actually create phenomenal relationships, that you never know where they can lead to, well, guess what? we can also rewire that thinking. We are capable of greatness. We are able to go ahead and achieve that dream body in the next 90 days. We are able to go ahead and walk on stage in the next 6 months, right? All of these things start to come to fruition the moment that we shift the way that we think about everything, right? The entrepreneurship journey, there's a big difference between the employee mindset and also the entrepreneur mindset. You see, as an employee, we work, we get paid, we work, we get paid. But as an entrepreneur, it's a little bit different, right? When we start learning how to trade the first week, you're not going to make demo in your first week, right? Because we're practicing, we're learning. Lady Boss Nikki, what's going on? Prince from Nigeria, it's good to see you. So understand this. There's always going to be a process that's needed in order to go ahead and rewire everything that we're normally used to thinking, right? Learning how to public speak, I was afraid to do that until I realized that's one of the highest paid skill sets. Learning how to trade seemed absolutely foreign to me until I started to see this is how the wealthy people truly make their money. The biggest banks in the world, guess what they're doing? They're trading their money. They're trading our money in the foreign exchange markets. That took a rewire for me, right? So I want to get into 3 different types of people. Lady Boss Nikki, you ready for this one? Ready? 3 types of people. You caught this one this morning too. 3 types of people. We have a seed sower, we have a trailblazer, and then we have number 3. This is called the visionary. 3 types of people. You ready? The seed sower. The seed sower is the one that plants the seeds, that does the daily rituals, right? That gets up early, that starts reading. Here's the trailblazer, right? The seed sower, you started to go ahead and do the things needed to go ahead and move the ball forward, needed to go ahead and experience photosynthesis, to experience transformation. And then you have the trailblazer, somebody who's truly not afraid to go against the grain, somebody who's ready to go ahead and be talked about because they understand on the road less traveled, this is part of the journey. The trailblazer is one who simply can look at the task and look at the goal, and no matter what anybody says, no matter what family and friends say, no matter what anybody's commenting online, they are locked in, focused, and they know where it is they're going, and they know who it is that they are. That's the trailblazer, right? Show off like Jesus. That's right. Number 3, now you've got the visionary. The visionary. The person who can see what they can't see. The person who actually not only took the time to sow the seeds, not only took the time to go against the grain, but they have a depth of vision, right? I want to give you guys a quick story. That there's 2 individuals that are traveling. They're shoe designers. You've heard this story, but I want to give it to you. Maybe hear it in a different light. They're 2 shoe designers, and they go to a different country, and they're looking around, and one guy says, man, nobody around here has shoes. Everybody's barefoot. How do you expect us to be able to make any profit over here? And then you have the second guy that says, this is the biggest gold mine that we could have found because look at how many lives we can impact. Look at how many individuals we can actually give the opportunity to be able to wear shoes. Planted the seeds. He did his research. He went against the grain, what most people couldn't see, and talk about a visionary. Went on to impact millions of lives. That's a visionary, right? Having a definite major purpose, no matter what anybody says, no matter how crazy the people think you are. That was actually my last Instagram post yesterday. If your dreams don't scare you, somebody drop it down in the chat. If your dreams don't scare you, what? They're not big enough. If your dreams don't scare you, they're not big enough. If your dreams don't make other people laugh, they're not big enough. Took me a while to realize this, but this is true. So understand this. You ready? If we have big dreams, Cedric, you got it, right? If you have big dreams, understand there's going to be a little bit of resistance and pay attention. This part was really cool. Ready? He says, we're all being nudged all the time by not paying the price. Woo! I had to sit and let that just seep in for a couple of seconds when I heard that. And I just felt that at such a deep level. Let me say that again. We're all being nudged all the time by not paying the price. Let's go ahead and think about it for a second. Ready? You're not gonna notice it right away, but you'll notice not hitting the gym for 7 days straight. You're gonna feel the price. You're gonna feel how lazy you feel. You're gonna feel probably a lack of energy. You're gonna feel maybe a little bit more depressed than usual, sitting inside, not doing a whole lot. Right? paying the price. What happens when you don't study and you go and get on the charts and you think you know everything? You're going to get humbled really quick. You're going to end up paying the price. You're going to get nudged a little bit. Say, you know what? Maybe I need to go back to the charts. Maybe I need to go back to some Go Lives and ask some questions, right? What are you going to do when life smacks like a brick and we haven't been doing the deep work and we don't know how to emotionally respond yet, to the point where we're reacting and we're not responding? This is life nudging. Until we learn the lesson, here's what Einstein said, until we learn the lesson, we will repeatedly experience the same experience, right? Perpetual habits. Huge. So realize that every day we're being nudged. I don't know if you guys know it or not, but every day we're getting a little bit closer to the end dates. Not to be scary, but here to be real, raw, and uncut. We have a timeline of physical existence, right? And every day that sand gets a little bit less in the top half. And the moment that you realize that, you start seeing that all of these things that we're afraid to go ahead and pay the price with, it's worse to not pay the price than it is to actually go ahead and pay the price. You see what I'm saying? I want to give you all a visual. People tell me I do too much deep work. If they only knew. If they only knew. You ready here? I want to give you guys a cool visual. How many of you, I'm going to bring up a movie, right? I saw this years ago, but let me see if you all know this movie. How many of you have ever heard of the movie Eddie Murphy? It's called, I think it's called, here we go. It's called 1,000 Words. Drop a 3 down below if you've ever seen this movie. It's from Eddie Murphy, 1,000 Words. Let's go. I love it. So if you've never seen this movie, here's the simple thesis for you. Ready? Basically, Eddie Murphy inside of this movie, he gets cursed, and he only has 1,000 words to be able to utilize. And in his backyard, he's living this luxurious mansion life. He's got a huge ego, and it takes him being humbled by learning the power of his words, because every word that he speaks in the back of his huge mansion yard, he has this beautiful tree. And every word that he speaks, there's a leaf that falls off of this tree. So all of the irrelevant words, all of the negative talk, all of the complaining, all of the limiting beliefs knocks leaves off of that tree. And over the course of the story, he starts to realize the power of his words and what his words can actually create in his reality. And I thought about it like this. What does our tree look like if every time we didn't pay the price, we lost a leaf on our tree? Imagine if 6 months went by and we were to go ahead and look at that tree. Imagine if that tree is completely bare, has nothing on it. You didn't notice it every day, but 6 months, you take a step back, you look at it like, yo, my tree used to be purple, green, orange, all these beautiful colors. But now we look at it like, yo, half of it's dead. There's no leaves even over here. Why is that? It's because every single day we didn't realize that not paying the price took a couple leaves off of our tree. But you know what? It also works the exact opposite. Every day that we pay the price, I want you to think about like we're watering the tree. Like the tree is filled with beautiful sunlight, getting that photosynthesis. And guess what? Eventually, those leaves, those branches start to go ahead and create fruits that we can go ahead and harvest into our life. So it goes both ways, right? Our leaves can either be falling off or they can be fed nutrients every day. And I'm telling you, you might not notice the day-to-day difference, but over time, that is going to look like 2 completely different trees. I'm telling you, this is from experience. I want to give you another visual to think about this. Ready? This is something my mentor hit us with this morning. Here's what he said. How many thoughts are we thinking right now that are taking up space inside of our mind? Better yet, how many thoughts are we thinking about right now that are taking up rent-free space inside of our minds? Woo! This is the part of the training where you're going to start to see it's not about what we're thinking about on this call. This is great. It's not about what we're thinking about when we get off of this call. I'm not even worried about that. I'm more worried about what are we thinking about when we're all alone at nighttime, when we're all alone in the morning, when we're all alone by ourselves. That's the thoughts I really want to dig into. Thinking before you think. You realize that, right? Those limiting beliefs that we think when we're all by ourselves. They say if people heard the words that we thought by ourselves, they would be speechless. It's one thing to put a cover on for this call. I have confidence. I feel it, right? It's nothing to do it around your friends and family, but it's a whole different world to do it by ourselves. This is why we all have three lives, right? We have our public life, we have our private life, and then we have our secret life. I'm talking about the secret life right now. What are the thoughts that we're thinking when we're by ourselves? Are we getting distracted? Are we thinking about limiting beliefs? Are we thinking how nothing is going right inside of our lives? Because this is the thinking that I'm telling you right now is going to lead to one of the biggest prices that we're going to ever have to pay. Because that price just keeps adding up. It gets more expensive every day that we're thinking about it, and it keeps compiling on top of each other. So what if we could take these rent-free thoughts and we could literally kick them out? Kick them out. And imagine how much space that we have now being able to let loose of all that toxicity, all of those limiting beliefs, all of those self-esteem issues, and imagine them just poofing away into just dust, pixie dust. Look how much room we have now. And guess how we fill back up that space? You see, we fill back up that space with our DMP, with our definite major purpose, with our truth, with our authenticity, with our love, with our passion, with our dedication. That's what we fill that space up with. And you can probably feel it right now. You feel light, you're vibrating high. This is literally because you've started to spiritually and physically let go of some of these limiting thoughts and starting to be able to accept what's really meant for all of us. So as I leave you off with today, here's my last piece on how to really go ahead and understand paying the price, okay? The reason why we document the journey is so people can see the growth. You see, people want to see two things. People misconstrue this all the time, and I did this at the beginning too, right? When I first started my journey, I always thought people want to see money, people want to see profits. You know what the truth is? People really want to see growth. Nobody cares about the story where somebody came in making all this money and they go out and they make more money. You haven't seen too many movies like that. What you have seen a lot of movies of is somebody who was struggling, somebody who was broke, busted, and disgusted, somebody who was going through life, and they found themselves. They remembered who they are, and they started going after their greatness. I could name so many movies right now. Rocky, Remember the Titans, right? Almost any great movie you guys could think about, there was probably some type of comeback story that you really admired. And this is the last quote that I want everybody to think about. Vulnerability gives us courage. And that's so true. Lady Boss Nikki said it right down below. Cedric too. They want to see the change. They want to see the transformation. People join you, not what you have, for who you are. Right? Look at The Pursuit of Happiness. Look at that movie of Will Smith and his son. They were sleeping on the streets with his son. But what did he do? I got goosebumps thinking about that. He stayed consistent. He held the vision. He trusted the process. And no matter what anybody else said, he kept going. Why? Because he knew this was bigger than him. People didn't even know what to do. They said, sign me up. Absolutely. So your vulnerability gives you courage. You don't have to lie about this journey. I was very transparent about my journey. Go back and look at my Instagram posts. I didn't hide it. I literally talk about my story. I was broke and homeless. I was living in my car. I was showering at LA Fitness. I had no job. I was eating PB&J's, bananas, and McDonald's for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That was my life. But you know what people saw? They saw the transformation. They saw the growth. They saw me change my circle of influence. They saw me start reading. They saw me get into ground. They saw me get into meditation. You know what's funny? When you become the best version of yourself, you're naturally going to start to inspire others to do the same. The same people that were talking smack, you know what they started to do? They started to download MetaTrader 4. They started to meditate. They started to ground. They started to go pick up books and start reading. Some of my family members that were my biggest skeptics, they're some of the biggest traders in crypto now. Funny how that works, right? So realize that your vulnerability gives you courage. Your story is powerful. Your story is more powerful than you ever know. They start taking notes. So family, that's my training for everybody. Understand that greatness has a cost, right? And for every single one of us, it's going to take paying the price. If it was easy, everybody would do it. I'm not telling you it's going to be easy showing up every day for yourself. It's not. But what I can tell you, it feels good. It might not feel good going to the gym, but you're going to feel amazing once you get out. Once you say, I did that. Once you say, you know what, I actually did get 1% better today. And when you go to sleep at night, you're going to be able to check off that box. And every night we can go to sleep just checking off that box, just doing something, just getting better than we were yesterday. I promise you that compound effect is so real, especially in a time where so many are so stagnant. Shane and Talina in the building. Let's go. I love to see it. So dreamers, with that being said, that's my training for everybody today. If nobody told you, let me be the first to tell you, I'm proud of you for showing up for yourself. I'm proud of you for taking the time to realize that we're not just here to pay bills, pay taxes, and get by. We're born for a lot more than that. We're destined for greatness. So Dream Team, go out and be great. It is your favorite entrepreneur. Define dreams. Remember, we can be, do, and have anything we can hold in our mind. We can hold it right here in our hand. Draw some fires. You guys got some value for today. Smash that like button and get ready to have a phenomenal end to July, starting such an abundant month full of breakthroughs, more ka-chings, more withdrawals, and more blessings in the month of August. Dreamers, I love you. Game time, turning dreams into reality. Let's go.